Shy Yeti.
I love mouses.
How are you? Hope you're fine. This is the Shy Yeti show.
Okay, where you go?
Why have I got horns?
Oh no.
Oh, it's the Shy Life Podcast.
Oh, there's going to be some drama ahead.
All I wanted was a pie, and then I hatched out of an egg.
Okay, bring the mic over. He's ready to record. Is it metaphorical? Is it deep?
Your show's getting so international.
Good boy. He's had all that shy is right.
Blimey, Governor, it's the Shy Life Podcast.
Oh my goodness.
Hello, Pete.
I don't know how he's done it.
Excellent.
755.
Bonjour et bienvenue au podcast The Shy Life.
Hello.
Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the Shy Life Podcast with me, Paul the Shy Yeti. How are you doing? I'm all right. So what's this episode going to be about? Well, we're just going to be catching up with some friends. I've got Nick here for a start.
Hello.
And we've also got Troby and Lisa on the other end of the phone, as it were. Well, they'll sound like they're here. The wonders of technology. I hate technology. Anyway, hello Lisa, hello Troby.
Hello. Hello, Nick.
Hello.
So let's just run the theme music, and when we come back, we'll just get generally chitter-chattering. This isn't a chatterbox, although it might as well be, because... Anyway, we've got half a chatterbox. Let's run that theme music.
Darling, it's the Shy Life Podcast.
My favourite person is here. Keep it rolling.
Good, but it's positive people. The High Life, the Shy Life.
I'll go anywhere for a potato.
Hello, captains. How are you?
Go Shy Yeti.
Oh my, I've never found out my secret.
I love the Yeti'S. It's my favorite thing.
If you thought that was bad, just listen to this.
Yeah, I'm strangely drawn to Yeti Uncle John's ankles as well.
I could eat my body weight in crisps.
Has anyone seen my hot sausage?
It's all gooey and meaty. Yum, 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 yum.
It was enormous.
I don't think I'm ready to speak about it.
Here comes the grizzly.
It's the Shy Life Podcast.
I can't wait for it to begin.
It's alright, I'm just being an alien. I like that.
Hi there.
Marvelous.
So, hello. How are you both doing? How are you doing, Nick?
I'm good. Yeah, busy time. In fact, I think we were. We'd only just. I think this is the first time in about 2 months, because we had to skip a month basically, didn't we? Because first of all, there was the recording on the films, which has gone fairly well, but been a bit delayed. Then I was on stage. No, then I went to Ireland. Then I was on stage. Then I did another bit of the filming, and so it's been a mega busy autumn.
Yeah.
And then I'm back on. I'm doing taking part in a murder mystery, kind of not one where we're enacting it's sort of scripts in hand type thing, but it's a true murder mystery from Salisbury, in Meadow Road, where. Just round the corner from where John Levine lives, but there was a true murder. I'm playing a 16-year-old boy at one point, vocally only. I think I don't. I suggested rolling up my trouser leg, but I don't think. I think that will suspend belief beyond belief. I think, but and then we've as I say, a bit more filming in the end of this month, and then we clear for a bit. And
I can't promise when this episode will be coming out, because just because there's lots of things going on generally, and so it may be spring by the time this comes out, or it might be winter. I don't know. We'll see, but. It depends.
Okay, just in case it does, we're this is the 9th. Is it the 9th of November?
9th of November. We're recording,
and the day before Paul's birthday.
It is indeed, and I think social media is being horrible to me. Because I've only just discovered the other day that there were 2 episodes of Around the Archives that came out, and I had no realisation they'd ever come out. So. So that's going to be good for my journey home. Would you like to tell us about your recent Around the Archive zings?
So I'm presuming that the ones you're talking about are... What have we done? Episode 21 of In Conversation.
Yes.
Yeah, that one.
And episode 68 of Around the Archives itself.
Yes, it's those 2 that I wasn't informed about by social media. So.
I mean, we could copy you in on the thing if you want.
Well, Mr. Warren said the same thing, that he isn't seeing. It's not just your feeds, but quite a lot of feeds are sort of, because when I look back, you've posted a lot. They just haven't appeared in my feed.
It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, I get to listen to them eventually. I mean, they've been on my phone, but I just didn't know they were there.
But yeah, 21 is a conversation with Oliver Crocker of the Bill podcast, and one-time producer for ITV.
Yeah, content producer, I have to say.
Yes.
Yeah. For this morning. Yes, he once had to wrangle both Lionel Blair and cats.
Yeah, so we won't spoil the story. But there's some nice working in television stories there. And then 68 came out this week, wasn't it?
It did, yes.
Which is Tim Worthington with his new book on kids' TV.
Yes.
You and me looking at Harry Seacombe as Pickwick.
Yes, the musical.
The musical in 1969.
Yeah.
Edward Kellett reading from his book on the Bill. And then you and I looking at Alice in Wonderland in 1966.
Yes.
So,
which is weird.
Yeah.
And on iPlayer, should you wish to watch it.
Yeah. So something there for everyone, I think.
I've got a joke. Did Uncle John even know you were here? I've just been listening quietly. Like a man walks into a bar with a lump of asphalt under his arm. What'll it be? Says the barman. A whiskey and soda, says the man, and one for the road. One for the road. One for the road.
Okay.
I'll come back. I'll come back later. Uncle John, thank you.
Is he all right?
I didn't really need you to. Where's Cromitty? Well, he's around. Maybe you'd like to play Scrabble with each other. Play Scrabble with each other? Can we play Scrabble with each other? Anyway, so will you be doing... well, I mean, as I say, we don't quite know when this episode's coming out. Will there be any more this year, or is that all for 2024?
We might squeeze a little one out before the end of the year.
Yes.
We have an idea.
We do.
But it'll just involve us, won't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
it might be a sort of in-conversation special.
Mini special, yeah.
So.
An in-conversation with no guests.
Yes. It's an in-conversation between us.
Yes. We can converse, can't we?
We can.
Giving yourselves a good talking to.
Well, absolutely.
Well, we need it, so...
Oh, in other news, Lisa had trouble with her water yesterday.
I didn't have trouble with my water.
Well, I'm terribly sorry to hear that, yeah.
That's most unfortunate.
Paul had trouble... Pool, as the lady on the train says, had trouble with its water because somebody dug through a water main. So we had an immediate rush at work of people coming to buy bottled water.
Yeah.
But it's all sorted out now, so... And we weren't affected.
Yeah, I was all right. My water was fine.
Well, the water at work was fine, but the water in the pub next door had gone off.
All right.
So...
That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
That's the news. That's about it.
That is the news from Paul.
Yeah.
Well, now the news. We've been watching films, haven't we?
Yeah, we've had Journey I always want to say Journey Round My Aunt. I'm thinking of Journey Round My Father, John Mortimer. Journeys with my aunt.
No, Travels with...
Travels with my aunt. So, with...
Maggie Smith.
That was an entertaining film, but probably not one to do on a Friday night when I've done a 10-hour day at work and I'm sort of drifting off to sleep about 9:30. But, it was a fun film. We're doing... Paul is in defiance of the Robert Banks Stewart Doctor Who ban live stream. The legal rights. I'm ambivalent about that because, of course, I've got them all on DVD.
Well, so do I.
But we're watching Terror of the Zygons, and who needs an excuse to watch Terror of the Zygons, really? And we're doing Dr. Phoebes tonight.
And we watched Deep Red, Dario Argento's film after lunch this morning.
Yeah, so possibly New Avengers as well, if we've got time.
We've been working our way through the New Avengers.
Nice to have a restful time of it because all the busyness. It's nice to have a day in. So, but also I've been recapturing the Sutton Parks that aren't completely all captured in as a complete tape, as a complete file. So I'm rejigging some of those early ones we did where we weren't quite so proficient. And so that's working out quite well.
Nick, I've sent you a thing. I don't know whether you saw.
I briefly saw your thing as I was coming in.
Yes, I've sent you Fabulous Animals by David Attenborough from 1975.
Right.
Do you remember that?
I don't know.
Kids TV.
So I shall have a gander at that.
I thought you'd have seen that.
Yeah.
Because Warren remembers it and I remember it. So maybe you missed it on first transmission.
I might have done. Maybe I was watching The Other Side, dare I say, at the time. But yeah, talking of interesting TV, there's a lot that's fairly juicy that's coming out soon. And I've got £100 gift voucher for my 25-year service at the hospital, and one of the things I can do is HMV, and of course Oxford Street HMV is now opened up, so Ali and I are going to one of the Royal Theatrical do's in beginning of December, and we're going to raid HMV for because season 2 Who's out on standard, and we've also got Shoestring, Blake 7, and Box of Delights, Stone Tape, which we were talking about earlier, all on Blu-ray.
Lisa's awaiting the Wombles, aren't you, Lisa?
Yeah, I think I've got all those on pre-order.
But so quite a busy old year. I am hoping to come and see you next year at some point and perhaps do a face-to-face RTA. If you'll have me.
Yes, that would be lovely, Nick.
I don't know about but we can think of something, I'm sure.
Well, Lisa's awaiting the Wombles, aren't you? They're coming round.
That's not out to the end of the month.
Yeah. And what else? Pipkins as well.
Pipkins. Apparently you have to wait 6 weeks for delivery.
All right.
Oh.
Okay. Why?
It's the way it says on the website because
Is Hartley Hare bringing it round himself?
on a moped, I think. Yeah, because I ordered it last year.
On a motor pig?
On a motor pig. Yeah,
on a motor pig. What's a motor
Do you want
pig?
to order it from Moon Pig?
Guys, can I try out some material on you? If you must, I think you're going to anyway. I've got a couple you'll like them. What do you call Santa's assistants? Subordinate clauses.
Oh gosh.
Not very good, Uncle John. What's the other one? If you told a cow a really funny joke, could she laugh so much that milk would come out of her nose? I don't know, is that a joke or is that a question? I guess either. Well, I don't know. I don't think that's biologically possible, is it? I don't know, Mr. T.
Yeah.
You're the cow expert.
I know about cows, but I mostly know that cows are very good at looking at cameras.
Yeah. Look, if you're thinking about becoming a stand-up comedian, you're going to have to get better material than that.
I'd sit down.
Really, it's not good enough. Well, I'm sorry, it's just something I've come into. Is it? Well, we don't really need to know about it. We've got other things to talk about. All right. So I don't mean to be unsupportive, but it was rubbish. He's gone. I don't know why all these joke telling, but sure.
Sorry, Lisa. What were you saying?
Hang
on. Oh dear.
Okay, carry on.
Right. No, I was just saying, Pipkins it was being dispatched last week, and but I haven't had an email to say it's been dispatched, and I can't get in the website because there's a problem with the website. So I'll just have to wait and see, I guess. So, but yeah, there's a lot coming out this month.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And one of my favourite horror films is coming out on Blu-ray, Crucible of Terror, as part of a rather nifty British horror film box set called Cruel Britannia, which looks promising too. So first time I've seen that film in actually really decent quality.
I've got a few questions for you, which not that one, maybe that one.
Why? What was that? What was that one? Was it a rude one?
No, it was just the random questions one. I've got something else to know. Well, one of the questions I've got, these are dinner party questions, but I'm not sure some of these questions make sense for sitting at a dinner party, because you wouldn't better write them down. But do you have any, I know Nick was talking about this earlier, have you found any new cool YouTube sites that or accounts that you're listening to, you're watching, at the moment? Nick, you were talking about one.
Oh, well, in actual fact, I think it's not so much new, but the one you're watching when you caught me watching it was that actually Andrew and Lisa introduced me to the American lady, Jess Saskasate. You introduced me to her when she was watching Invisible Enemy, and I have stayed adhered to her since. And I do quite a passable impression of her. I mean, Elaine and Keith follow it as well, and Marie Claire. But basically, I think those are regular sites. I tend to just I like the Archive Church Music as well site, and I've got a few things that I'd like to contribute to them. But there's also anything really that they've put up 2 shows that I remember that aren't on DVD. The Dane Dyke Mystery, which was with Michael Craig, and Echoes of Louisa, which is rather a good ghost story. So I'm kind of waiting for a really free day to actually sort of binge watch those. Anything really that catches my eye. Only archive stuff, continuities, interviews, Bond, Doctor Who, anything really, sort of that catches my eye.
I tend to watch a lot of not a lot. There tends to be travel sites I follow, probably because I don't travel so much myself. There's a site that Toby introduced me to called The Endless Adventure, who I'm sure I've mentioned, who I must have been watching for about 5 years now. They used to travel internationally, and then with COVID, they kind of they're American, and they kind of were refurbishing vans and travelling more locally, and now they're travelling around America more. And also the Travel Beans, who are a British couple, they used to travel internationally, and now they've just bought a house in Italy, and it becomes sort of quite addictive to, you kind of want to see what happens next. The Travel Beans at one point were travelling around America in an RV van, which one day burst into flames, and they got it all on camera as well. They didn't. It was an accident. It wasn't. It just showed the perils of buying second-hand cars, even if they appear to be perfectly fine when you buy them. But what about you, Trevi and Lisa? Are there any channels you recommend?
Well, the interesting sort of thing with the things I stumble across is that they're often rare recordings from the archives, but you have to be quick. You have to jump on them, because quite often the channels get taken off within a couple of weeks, so they get slammed by BBC copyright. But I did come across one a few weeks ago which had got a load of playaways from 1978.
Oh, wow.
Including, obviously, Tony Robinson, who honestly can't carry a note in a bucket. He's dreadful at singing.
Yes.
But Anita Dobson.
Yeah.
Did you know she did play away?
I think so, yes.
I don't know if it was you or somebody who posted a picture of Tony Robinson and Anita Dobson on an episode of Play School, and I only saw that in the last 24 hours.
Yeah, well, this includes a Christmas one. So there's a few of those, but I suspect they might disappear quite soon.
The other, actually, talking of that, there's a Target on YouTube at the moment. They're quite hot potato.
Oh right, okay. Well, the
Road Gallery.
Yeah. All right, okay. What was I going to say? Oh, there is one channel I must recommend this week, and that's TAF 316. TAFFE 316, and I have a very personal reason for recommending it, because he does a thing. He broadcasts on Twitch, and I follow his channel on Twitch. And when you've watched his channel for long enough, you rack up channel points. And when you get to enough channel points, you can make him watch a video and react to it. So I've got 3 videos that I've suggested to him, and he's done one of them this week. I won't say what the other 2 are yet, because I don't want to spoil it. But this week, he reacted to episode 1 of the John Pertwee Wurzel Gummidge. And it was very funny to watch an American who didn't know anything about Wurzel Gummidge and not much about John Pertwee watching this. Mm-hmm. As by the end of it, he was going, I was expecting some Wizard of Oz wholesome stuff, but boy, this is creepy. This should be on the Horror Channel. So, yeah, watch out for American Reacts to Wurzel Gummidge on TAF 316. And he mentions my name twice. Thanks to Trowby for the... Trowby, as he calls me.
Trowby. Well, as I say, I didn't... Garrick Hagan at Sunmakers was saying, hey, is that Trowbridge there? You know, bidding for this? You know, because Michael Shears goes, I'm sure that was Trowbridge. And Garrick Hagan started calling him Trowbridge after a while.
I don't remember that at all.
No, it was brilliant. You know, I think he said, what was my most popular story? And you, I think you said Pyramids of Mars. Pyramids of Mars. I'm sure that was Trowbridge. You've got so many shout-outs. Garrick Hagan started calling you by name as well.
God. I don't even remember seeing Garrick Hagan.
Yeah, 2001. Sunmakers Convention.
But Taff then started looking up Jeffrey Belden.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And stumbled across his series. I'd never even heard of it.
No.
Magic Grandad.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard of Magic Grandad?
That's a new one on me, I must admit.
Jeffrey Belden is Magic Grandad and takes his grandchildren back in time to meet historical figures.
Mm-hmm.
You see, he did get to play Doctor Who after all.
Indeed. And Christopher Benjamin's in the one we watched.
Oh, wonderful.
It's about Elizabeth I in the Tower of London.
Mm-hmm.
But he'd never heard of Magic Grandad and spent 3 minutes pissing himself laughing at just repeating the words Magic Grandad, as he found that a really funny title for a series.
There was also a look and read with Jeffrey Belden as the baddie at some... I can't remember which look and read.
Yeah, this started in the Watch strand on BBC, schools or whatever. So, but yeah, it's 1993-ish.
Oh, I know the way. Schools and colleges.
That's right, yeah.
Oh, right, yes, I know. Watch. Yeah,
Watch.
We've got music somewhere.
Yeah.
Guys, these ones are better. We're in the middle of a conversation, Yeti Uncle John. No, it's fine. We're the ones who should say if it's fine. Oh, just get on with it. Why did the Scarecrow win an award? Because he was outstanding in his field. He's outstanding in his field. Have you got any more? Yes. What did the duck say when it bought lipstick? Put it on my bill. Put it on my bill. What do you call a pig that does karate? A pork chop. You guys are a tough audience. We're no more tougher than an audience you'll get if you actually become a stand-up comedian or try to become a stand-up comedian, Yeti Uncle John. Doing it for your own good. How does the ocean say hello? Does it wave? How did you know that? Harry.
Yes.
How are you? Happy New Year. I know
Happy New Year to you.
it's a bit late as far as time this goes out, but it's still the first time that I've seen you this year.
And also it's Chinese New Year.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm going to ask you some random questions and maybe some other types of questions, but I've got 10 of them, so you can give as short or as long as an answer as you like.
Sure.
First question is, what was the situation where you laughed the hardest you ever have?
Oh, that's really, really difficult.
I was going to say that is, because you do laugh quite a lot, and our friendship was often based on humour.
I guess it would be things like French and Saunders. That would. Is it going to be sort of a specific thing?
Yeah, no, it's fine.
I guess French and Saunders really would set me off. I remember what was that sort of piss take that they did of the woman with the fans?
Oh, I'm not even sure what film that was a piss take of. It worked as a sort of spoof of that.
When they're hidden behind the
Dangerous Liaisons.
That's it, Dangerous Liaisons, that's exactly it. And they're doing their bits of gossip, and she says that she's heard that this woman is having it off with a porcupine. And says, oh no, sorry, concubine.
There's, for me, things like Acorn Antiques and like One Soup, Another Soup, with Julie Walters and written by Victoria Wood, even though she's not in that sketch.
Yes.
The way she's holding the plates and she pours the soup on the floor, puts it on the table, and they go, "Excuse me," and she comes back and goes, "Oh, finished already." And also, there's the one in the shoe shop I love as well, where she comes in. Victoria Wood comes in looking for shoes. And she's saying, "Oh, I'm looking for flat shoes," and Julie Walters just snaps the heel off, going, "Flatter now." I've shown that to other people, and I think it might be an age thing, or not everybody finds that funny. But my mum actively channels the One Soup lady. She sometimes when she brings food in, she'll sort of say, "One soup." Question 2: would you consider yourself decisive or indecisive? Now, if you can't answer, then we got the answer.
I'm not sure really. I can't really say. I mean, sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. No, I am. I'm actually pretty decisive.
Yeah.
I'm decisive. I like to make sort of very sort of quick decisions. I can't stand. Sometimes I sort of think in life, if you're going to make a mistake, then just make a mistake and learn from the mistake, and that's really why I get into so much trouble.
Well, yes, you're pretty much. When you've got a plan, I know not to expect you to deviate from it.
Yes.
It can be annoying with some people because I give in very easily, and if somebody says, "Oh, please," I'm probably more likely to go yes. Not always, but I'm trying to be better. How many things do you currently own do you think you could throw away and not notice a difference in your life?
Oh gosh, I try to only hold on to stuff that I really need. Oh no, that's not true. For whatever reason, I've kept hold of all of my my maths degree stuff. And sometimes I pick it up and I can't actually understand the stuff that I understood when I was 20 years old. It literally is all Greek to me because it's mostly Greek lettering.
You are pretty minimalist as far as like your house isn't full of clutter like mine.
That's right, it's not cluttered at all, but I've got in storage and whatever, I've held on to things like those maths notes. I think it's because it was such a... It meant so much to me at that point in my life, and it was a great achievement for me. And I'm hold on to that a little bit, and wish that sometimes I had continued with it a bit more.
And you have that photo of you doing the London Marathon as well.
Yes, yeah. I think that having like a little bit of history is important.
If you could choose the way you became a hero, what would the circumstances be?
The way, so it's not even like what sort of superhero you'd like it to be, but it's the way that you become.
Yeah, like what would you be like to do? Like, would you like to rescue a kitten from a tree? You probably wouldn't. I'd be more like to do that.
You see, what would the way that you would do it? Would it be connected with what you want to become?
I don't know. I mean, I would like to fly into the the White House, collect Donald Trump and Elon Musk, and fly them up to Mars, because Elon seems to love Mars, and just leave them there. That's what I would like to be a hero for. I think there'd be a lot of people who'd be very happy if I did that. So I am doing my flying lessons at the moment, so any day now.
I think everybody wants to be a sort of a flying superhero, don't they? It's either that or they want to be invisible.
Yeah.
And do lots of naughty things.
Oh no, they're doing it for good reasons. So you're not sure?
No,
you've got time.
Sorry, darling, I can't. Not sure about that one.
There's another one about superheroes. Would the world be better or worse if superheroes existed?
I think it would probably be worse, because I think you'd have some sort of arms race between different people and competing powers. So you'd have people with powers, and then you'd have unpowered people, and then all the unpowered people would be suited up. And they would try and match the people with powers. So it would be like an arms race.
I'm not really one for respect for respect's sake. Anyway, you'd feel you had to be sort of I'm not respectful to. I posted just the other day about somebody said they were proud that Trump was their president, and I said, well, I think it's weird that you're proud of any politician. It's very rare that you should always be expecting more from your politicians, because rarely they deliver what they say they're going to do.
Yes.
I can't imagine being, maybe on an individual, but they did something, that's good. But proud, they are our servants, basically. Public servants. So proud. That sounds more like you're worshipping somebody, or you're looking up like they're a figurehead, and that's not what our president or.
I think that's how, and that's connected with the superhero thing. Is that they're sort of in a slightly privileged sort of position. Easily exploited.
I
mean, I think that the world is pretty much unequal enough, and some inequality is actually needed in society. But I think if you had powered people, it would create too much of a difference that people would be left behind.
Have you been given any good advice lately? Oh, Harry, have you listened to the Shy Life podcast? It's a really good show. You might want to listen to it.
I haven't had any good advice recently, so that's
you just got one then.
Nothing really. The thing is that you get kind of this old, and you sort of feel like you've heard it all before. What you forget is, you forget the good advice, and then you have to be reminded of your good advice.
And also, people who are younger don't necessarily want your advice, even if it's something that. Okay, well, they're just going to have to learn by making that mistake, which I was going to try and tell them not to make.
What I'm terrible at, and you probably feel sometimes the same way, is self-care, so looking after yourself, emotionally as well as physically. And my friend Stephanie, she'll say things like, now you've got past this difficult point, which is January for me, and now you need to focus on yourself and looking after yourself. And so think, that's right, I've forgotten that I need to start doing that and looking out for myself, because I tend to sometimes I feel like I spend most of my life looking out for other people.
Well, today on the train I was listening to the new Lady Gaga single, which is really good. It's called Abracadabra, and it's really sort of like her early stuff and very poppy. So I was getting sort of self-care because it really sparked my neurons and stuff. But then I started feeling sad because my friend and ex Anthony, who passed away last year, I'd be like, I wanted to show him that song, but I can't now.
So, you can't now. Yeah,
so it's
you get a lot of that.
Even the self-care things can have things that are kind of negative from them. But listen to music is good, but then it reminds you of somebody. I mean, that's not a bad thing to be reminded of somebody. But
that's right. It's not a bad thing to be reminded of somebody. And what you're doing at the moment is you're talking about it and you're sharing it, and that will all be part of grief. Because people think, grief is something like, I'm now grieving and now I'm out of the grieving. But actually, these things will come back in waves. Like it will for Anthony.
Well, I wrote a poem when my great aunt died like 20 5 years ago, and that was called Waves. And I said about. I mean, I think I've seen since then. I've seen a lot of people have used the same imagery. I'm sure before me, lots of people had used that imagery as well. But at the time, it seemed quite. I hadn't seen anyone write about grief as waves, but so that's why I wrote it like that, and also how the waves maybe bring in different memory. I wrote it from the point of view of.
That's a nice idea. Yeah, bringing in the different memories. Yeah.
What song do you secretly sing in the shower? Is it a Shakespeare Sister song?
Oh my God. Sorry. As soon as you say that, I'm thinking about Eric, and he's singing nonsense songs in the shower. But anyway, for me, do you know the sad thing is that I'm probably singing like one or two of my own songs.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah.
Do you remember the song Everything Was Good Before You Came? That song. Sometimes I do that.
Yeah.
Okay then.
We have that one.
Everything was wrong before you came.
Everything was wrong before you came. Everything was wrong before you came. I was alive but was barely sane. Everything was wrong before you came, but you don't believe me. Every little thing I made a fight. You set it in and you made it right. Everything was wrong before you came, but you don't believe me. Well then, don't you know all the heartache that I've suffered? Living here with me wasn't easy. Every little horror took me down for hours. Did you think? Every little sorrow sent your healing powers. Did you think? You know everything was wrong before you came. I was alive but was barely sane. Everything was wrong before you came, but you don't believe me. Every little thing I made a fight. You set it in and you made it right. Everything was wrong before you came, but you don't believe me. Well then, don't you know all the heartache that I've suffered? Living here with me wasn't easy. Every little shadow brought all the color. Did you think? Every little candle prayed for me for hours, yeah. Did you think? You know everything was wrong before you came. I was alive but was barely sane. Everything was wrong before you came, but you don't believe me. Every little thing I made a fight. You set it in and you made it right. Everything was wrong before you came, but you don't believe me. Everything was wrong, everything was right, everything was fine. I'm with you tonight. Everything was wrong before you came. I was alive but was barely sane. Everything was wrong before you came, but you don't believe me. Every little thing I made a fight. You set it in and you made it right. Everything was wrong before you came. One day you'll believe me.
Yeah, I actually, in some of the episodes I've been editing recently, I have done, as you know, I've done my AI songs where I've used my poems, but then and it got a little bit exhausting because the site I used, Udio, was in beta mode, and there were things about it that needed improving. Like, for instance, everything was black on black, so the toolbar was black. Oh. Sometimes I couldn't see the toolbar. Sometimes I'd end up with lots of different versions.
That sounds like a very bad fault.
Well, I did report it and sort of suggest, and nothing happened and nothing happened.
Your UI is completely black.
Well, no, you could see things. Just some of the important things, like sometimes with new songs, I ended up with 20 different versions, and I wanted to choose the best one to take it to the next stage. But I was getting harder and harder to scroll, and I kind of gave up a bit. And since then, I've gone back on, and they have made it a slightly different colour. And so other people have probably said as well. So I will finish off my album that I'm doing with AI songs. But what I have been doing, because it was a lot easier to do, was just do just put the keywords in for the sort of song you wanted, and just do a 2-minute instrumental. And I did a few of those just to break things up in the podcast.
Yeah.
And of some of the ones I've done recently, although I said just instrumental, I ended up with some sort of lyrics, but they weren't real words. But the tunes were amazingly poppy and cool. So the the singer's going blah, 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 blah. But it's word. It sounds like words. It's not as basic as la la la. But there will be some songs where I'm sure some listeners will be trying to strain. What's the person saying? Well, they weren't saying anything. It was
Swahili for you, there. You're the Swahili setting.
But I kind
of really, really popular.
But the tunes were too good not to keep them, so I'm like, it doesn't matter. You can just sing along to this tune, just making up nonsense.
It'll be popular in Swaziland.
Yeah. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I'm hoping Hayward's Heath.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I don't know. No one will buy my flat. It's so unfair. I want to be in Hayward's Heath with like a normal house and a nice garden, and I want to be having a very bland middle class lifestyle. That's what I want for my life. I want Reggie Perrin. I want that. I want the commute. I want the 27 minutes late at work.
Be careful saying a normal house. What's wrong with the weird houses?
Well, Reggie Perrin's ended up quite weird.
Yeah. Have you ever had a terrible house guest? If so, what happened?
Paul Chandler.
I don't get invited anymore, that's why. That's why I don't get invited anymore. That time I didn't do anything. I was going to invent something, but then it all gets spread as truth.
None of this is really repeatable. You're going to have to cut it all out. But it was when...
So make up the name. Make up a name.
No, I can't. It was Tom.
Tom.
And some guy...
Peter.
I don't know. And they went into the spare room in Connaught Court.
I know what you're talking about. And it wasn't Tom and Peter, it was Tom and Mary. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that was pretty. That was pretty horrible. That was pretty poor behaviour.
Yeah, thank you.
We can't talk about it.
No, okay. I'll be scrubbed.
Well, I'll keep it in, but Tom and Mary need to respect other people's boundaries. What was the unspoken scandal in your town when growing up? Unspoken. I don't know. Unspoken.
There was no unspoken scandals. There was murder toilets.
There was the murder toilets. Yeah.
In the park
near the college,
near to where I live. Yeah. Because it was talked about because you hardly ever get any murders in Salisbury. Mm-hmm. So this was the big. Well, apart from obviously the chemical poisoning.
That happened later.
That was a lot later. But yeah, so murder toilets. People would talk about that. I don't think there's anything necessarily big sort of scandal. I mean, there was lots of rumours about poor old Ted Heath, which weren't true, but although he was a homosexual. And I guess people didn't talk about the fact that he was gay. But
he didn't either. So
no, he didn't. No.
The biggest one at primary school was when when somebody pooed in one of the urinals, and then they found out who it was as well. I can't say because he might be like he might be like a bishop by now or something. We'll be back in a minute with some other types of questions. Anyway, sorry. Where were we? Did we finish talking before Yeti Uncle John so rudely interrupted? I can't remember. I may have another.
Did you have anything to add to that, Lisa?
No, I don't really do YouTube.
You're not a YouTuber.
No, you just show me stuff, don't you?
I just show her bits.
Ooh. What one piece of junk food do you love, no matter how unhealthy it is? Well, just what's your favourite junk food if you were going to your guilty pleasure food wise? Or
I don't think I have a pleasure that isn't guilty. I just about everything I eat is kind of fudge. Fudge, curry, more fudge, more. No, pretty well everything, you know.
I mean, what do I like best? I don't get to have some of the things as often. I tend to have them when I come to you. So having a takeaway
is a bad influence on you.
Having a Chinese or Indian takeaway is fish and chips. I don't drink as often as I used to. So yes, I do when I come to see you. So again, yes, you are a bad influence.
I have a very bad influence on you.
I mean, it's mainly because I can't be bothered to drink by myself, so I don't see people that often. So that's the only reason. But what about you, Lisa and Troberg? Any guilty pleasures when it comes to food?
There's lots of guilty pleasures. I don't know about junk food because, again, probably a lot of the stuff I eat would be classed as being not on the healthy side. I suppose I do quite like a Chinese takeaway, but we don't have those very often anymore, do we? But we go to the fish and chip shop once or twice. Well,
we try to support it.
Yeah, every sort of 6 weeks or so. So, but that would be it probably.
I've discovered Uber Eats because I can't get to my nearest fish and chip shop very easily, but now I can. Now I found Uber Eats. I can get all kinds of things delivered should I want it. But
you're about to dive into Uber Eats, aren't you? At work?
Yes, yeah. We've they're doing Deliveroo, so they are just about to start Uber Eats on next week. So double the fun.
Yeah, I mean, I have the Great British Tuck Shop book, which is a fascinating volume. And my favourite chapter in it is the one on crisps and snacks. Because didn't Steve Berry get on telly once and he was credited as crisp historian?
Yes, he was, yes.
And if I wasn't into science as a career, I think crisp historian would have been quite an interesting job. Because I really lament the narrowing down of the crisp field.
Yes, here.
The fact that everything is Walkers now. I remember the day of the KP Fryer. I remember horror bags.
Horror bags. I think
they were wonderful.
Our favourites are Sensations, but even then they've reduced the amount of flavours. There was a wonderful chipolate, Mexican sweet chipolate one that they did about 10 years ago, and like everything else Ali and I likes, it's evaporated.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. There were some damn weird flavours once upon a time, and probably they were extremely bad for you.
Builder's Breakfast, I think now and then they go for really strange flavours to test them out, and there's Builder's... I kept thinking of Builder's Bum, so I kept avoiding that. In the end, I took it, and it was a bit forgettable, really. But I'll always try new flavours.
Yeah, there was a corn snack around about 1980, which were called Zodiac.
Oh right.
And they didn't last very long.
No.
But the weird thing about them is that on the front it just says mystery flavour.
Do you remember Farmer Brown? But,
yes.
With the Bill Oddie doing the commercial with a load of cartoon a farmer and all the animals singing to the theme music. So, Farmer Brown.
They still sometimes try that with mystery things. I mean, Lisa may have seen these at work. A year or two ago, I remember like one of the dairy milk bars was like mystery flavours. I think I ended up buying one just to try it, and it was kind of, I think it was pretty much like the goo they put in a Cadbury's cream egg inside a chocolate bar, but it wasn't worth I mean, I don't think chocolate bars are worth the price that they charge anymore. I don't buy them very often. I'm not paying £1.50 or whatever it is for.
They brought back Texans about 20 years ago. I remember being in Peyton with Ali, and we lo and behold, they were selling Texan bars, albeit sort of reduced size. I certainly miss Toffos. My teeth don't. But yes, Toffo is lovely. Do you remember Wickers crisps? The little kind of
prawn cocktail.
Yeah, yes,
yeah, sort of and griddles, KP griddles. That was the other one. Yeah.
They were. I've never liked Skips. I've always found them a bit too sweetly and thickly.
If you feel like something dainty, have a Skip.
I like a good. Actually, I had a bone to pick with the Monsters from Monster Munch because they've got a very nice new flavour barbecue, but I'm sure the monster that they have on it is moonlighting because he's the roast beef monster. So I think they're skimping on it and not creating a new monster for a new flavour.
Well, I was going to say, if the monster's doubling up doing the work of two monsters, surely the Monster Union should get onto his employers.
Yes, there should be. They are denying employment for monsters. If you're going to start a new flavour, you need to own it and create and have a new monster. There are plenty of unemployed monsters out there.
I think they might have stopped doing the beef one actually. So they've just swapped him from beef to barbecue.
Is he like Monster without portfolio?
Yeah.
I do hope they're paying him time and a half. Oh, do you remember Kung Fui's?
Oh yes.
About 1975 when Kung Fu was all the rage. Kung Fui's. I remember having a packet of those on holiday.
I think some of those were meant to be mushroom flavour or something.
That's a weird one.
It's very strange.
I'm fairly positive when I was at senior school that we had hedgehog flavour crisps, and I don't know what flavour hedgehog was meant to be.
Yes.
But,
yes, I remember those.
Yeah. So.
Guys!
Oh, what
these
now?
These are the best ones yet. Why couldn't the leopard play hide and seek? Because he was always spotted. Apparently you can't use beef stew as a password. It's not stroganoff. Why did the drum take a nap? It was beat. Where do hamburgers go dancing? They go to the meat ball. Why did the tomato turn red? It saw the salad dressing. I need to go and sit down now. Good. But Paul, I need to speak to you about this. I need some advice from Mr. T. What is it about? We're trying to record an episode, Cromitty. Yes, I know, but this is about Yeti Uncle John. It will explain why this whole business with him telling jokes. Really? What you're saying is a medical complaint. It is in a way. He was having a snooze. He was having a snooze and he inhaled a book of jokes, a joke book. You're kidding me. No, it's true. He inhaled a joke book and now they're coming out of his brain. It was a very bad joke book. You mean somebody published a book of jokes with those jokes in? They weren't just rubbish jokes that Yeti Uncle John came up with. No, it's actual jokes. Yes. Well, somebody should be ashamed of themselves. Well, why did you want Troby's help? Well, we need to get the jokes out of him, or x-ray him, to see where the book is lodged. Or can't we just take him to the hospital? No. I think the hospital staff would think we were being funny with them. Now that's quite a funny joke, Cromitty. That made me laugh. No, it wasn't meant as a joke. Oh, what you want Yeti Uncle John to be spared the embarrassment of having to admit what has happened. Yes. Oh, come on. I don't know. Well, Mr. T, do you have any suggestions?
Well, this idea of x-raying him is a good idea, but how can I put this delicately? Yeti Uncle John has got quite a thick hide, hasn't he?
Well, yes.
He's got a big carapace, shall we say.
He does. Yes, he does.
So the x-rays won't penetrate him particularly easily, will they?
Well, I imagine there might be problems, yes.
I don't think we get a good image of his guts.
Okay.
I mean, I know you don't want a good image of his guts, But if we're going to find a book inside him...
Well, what do you suggest?
Well, coincidentally, I've been working with barium in my spare time. Barium. Now, it's not made from bears, before you ask. It's atomic number 56. Barium. And barium is used in X-rays, or at least it used to be, because you used to have a barium meal.
Oh, yes, I've heard of those.
Yeah. And I've made some barium meal mix.
Oh.
I've got some knocking around.
Yes.
It's made of barium sulfate, and it's well, I had a bit of trouble with it, so it's a bit thicker than I hoped. It's more like sort of Angel Delight.
Oh.
But I'm sure he likes Angel Delight, doesn't he? Yeah. There are some lumps in it of barium acetate, I do warn you, because I knocked over some vinegar when I was making it, and the acetic acid made lumps of barium acetate.
Yeah.
Now, he could eat this barium meal, but he'll have to eat around the barium acetate, all right?
Okay.
Don't let him eat the barium acetate, because if he does, he'll suffer from vomiting, diarrhea, paralysis, and cardiac irregularities. All right?
Blimey.
Yeah. And in 1993, a Texan teenager poisoned her father by stealing barium acetate from a school chemistry laboratory and mixing it with his dinner. So I don't want anything like that to happen to Yeti Uncle John. Now, he could eat this barium meal, or he could have it as an enema. I leave that up to you.
Can I have it as a milkshake?
Well, you could do. Yes, you could. You can make it milky. Yeah, if you sort of water it down a bit. But yeah, just as I said, pick the lumps out, because if he has the lumps, he might rush off to the toilet a lot. So yeah, here's. I'll let you have the barium sulfate. And if he eats that, then you can do a decent X-ray. I'm sure Cromitty knows how to do the X-ray. So
can we do X-rays via Skype?
I expect so. Yeah. If I pour the barium meal into our USB slot,
yeah,
right, and then you connect the USB slot up to Yeti Uncle John somehow.
Yeah.
Have you got a cable that could
I'm sure we've got some cable. Yeah.
Well, you could either, as I said, put it down his mouth. I'd just put it down his mouth if I were you.
Yeah.
Don't attempt to connect the cable any other way.
This seems like a moment where we should put some extra material in whilst we get this all sorted out.
Okay.
Let's go to some extra material. When we come back, Yeti Uncle John will be all hooked up, and he'll be able to have his lovely barium milkshake, and then we can get him X-rayed before the end of the show.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's have some extra material. I don't know what it'll be, but we've got to sort a few things out. Cromitty, can you go and fetch Yeti Uncle John, please? Yes, okay. This is kind of what I was thinking of doing myself, but I just wanted to speak to Mr. T, because none of our scientific, expertise is quite in the area of not embarrassing Yeti Uncle John by giving him a barium meal. I understand that. Okay, let's go to something else. We'll be back in a moment. And we're back again. This time we're doing Would You Rather questions. Okay. Would you rather never have to wait at lights or never have to wait for your food? You don't drive, so maybe crossing lights, we'll say.
Never have to wait for food, because that's the one that's really...
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it only really works if you drive, and even then, I think waiting for food is still annoying.
Yes.
Although when you're driving, when I've been with people, we were trying to get to the cinema the other day in a friend's car. We were a bit... I was hoping we'd leave a bit earlier, and of course we didn't leave as early as we'd liked. And he was quite happy to arrive once the lights had gone down. I generally wouldn't be, because I like to be early.
Yeah.
I know I'm always early when we meet here, although I was early today.
No, you were early today. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, no, I thought I was surprised.
That's the first time in, 50 years, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yes, but when we were in Salisbury, it was because I had to wait for my dad to drop me off, and then I
had to wait 30 minutes.
It was really dark in the cinema, actually. I literally couldn't see. So that was a negative, but every time we were hitting the lights. Anyway. Would you rather have someone cheat on you or cheat on someone and they find out?
Oh, say that again?
Would you rather have someone cheat on you or you cheat on someone and they find out?
I don't live my life that way.
I know.
So everything's completely open.
It's a bit of a weird.
I think I would rather... Oh, it's hypothetical. I don't accept your hypothetical. I'm going to be a politician. I don't accept your hypothetical. I would probably the first one.
I remember watching one of those Black Mirror episodes.
Yeah.
One of the recentish ones, and saying the whole of this episode would be null and void if those characters were in an open relationship.
Yes.
Which these days, particularly in the gay community, that's quite
common.
But so many stories are built on somebody cheating on somebody, whereas if they had an honest relationship, they wouldn't be in that situation.
I think that if I was say in a closed relationship, and basically we said that everything that was completely off limits, and I found that my partner had cheated on me, then I would probably forgive them. And it wouldn't be a big deal. Maybe it would be a big deal because he'd made a commitment and he'd broken the commitment. But to be honest, I just think it's one of those sorts of commitments that is like...
it's so theoretical, because you might have been absent because you were so busy with work for the last year and he'd hardly seen you, or he was really upset, apologetic, and really sort of, what can I do to make... Or he might be really arrogant and so it's very theoretical.
To be honest, I mean, I think that men kind of generally understand men and the fact that they tend to be stray quite a bit. It's sort of like... I don't want to necessarily end up in judgment of somebody who just has a bit of fun.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that it's sort of like that you're immune to it. Because I guess you do kind of feel like you'd feel a little bit sad. But equally, it's sort of like they're with me. So it's like...
I've been in situations more recently where there's been more closer to I'm not naturally an open relationship person, but I have been more open to that circumstance, and it's and I can see the good and bad in both, and certainly not judgmental. And some people are just easier at dealing with it.
It's important to say that either a closed relationship or an open relationship isn't a panacea. It's not so it's something. What I don't really like about the closed relationship is that it's pretending to be something that it isn't.
Yeah, I know a few people who appear to be in a wonderful relationship, but I know them well enough to know that it's far from perfect, but their Facebook pages make it look like they're perfect.
Well, that's always the way. If you go onto Facebook, I occasionally try to throw in stuff where I'm not, everything's sort of wonderful and having a great time or whatever. But everybody does that. I mean, everybody's sort of... you go onto Facebook and you're sort of thinking, bloody hell.
Would you rather eat ants on your ice cream or worms in your soup?
What? Probably ants and ice cream
Yeah.
because they're small. The ice cream would mask them, whereas the other one sounded particularly
It didn't say whether they're dead or alive, but definitely. I mean, they'd be running around very quickly.
That being said, we did do snails.
Yeah, we
together,
did do
didn't we?
Yeah.
And snails.
They were dead. They weren't moving.
They were dead, but it just goes to show that you can smother something in like garlic butter, but you can't change the end.
I don't know. I can't remember so much about the snails. It's more when I've had oysters occasionally.
Do you not remember the snails?
I don't remember them being like horrible. Whereas when I've had oysters, you really get the taste of the sea, the very sea.
With the snails, they tasted of grass.
Well, it's probably the similar thing. Would you rather receive £500 each time you make someone laugh, or £10? What?
£500? That's so much easier.
Would you rather receive £500 each time you make someone laugh, or £10? I don't know if that sentence is fully there, because there's no question mark. I might do an extra one because that's just shit. Would you rather have no long-term memory or no? I thought I was going to be. Would you rather have no long-term memory or no short-term memory?
Oh,
well, I sometimes don't have both of those, depending on the day.
So what did you just say?
What? Who are you?
Who are you? Where am I? I could dispense probably with short-term memory because
your phone does it.
Then you can, yeah, exactly.
Siri helps you out.
Either way, actually, to be honest. But I could probably dispense with short-term memory. I like to have my long-term memory.
Yeah.
I've got to say though that my memory just generally is not that great. You remember stuff that I
but I don't remember compared to Tom. Nick. Compared to Nick, who remembers everything he's ever done. I think.
Yeah, that's an incredible memory.
And I believe that Toppy Smelly from the Smellcast also has very good memories.
Yes.
So I always find that when I do the Wordle, and then I do that usually before bed, so I'm very sleepy, and then I start doing the Wordle with my mum in the morning to help from her. So I can't remember what the word was yesterday.
Interesting.
But then maybe an hour later when she does the next one, I have to double check because I don't think my brain retains little things like Wordle words.
Well, that's it then. That's like a very specific short-term memory.
Yeah, it's very specific. I can remember things like I've got to go and meet Harry for yummy lunch today.
Thank goodness for that.
Would you rather have your purse or wallet or your phone stolen?
I think I could probably get away. Fuck off. Hands away. Probably I could live with my wallet being taken.
Especially these days when you've got a lot of things on phones.
To be honest, you can get the wallet on your phone, so you can do Apple Pay or whatever.
There's hardly anything in my wallet these days.
That is the disaster, and of course it happened with, I think it was this phone, it just slipped out of my pocket. But somebody very kindly sort of said, it just slipped out of your pocket. I was on the tube and I just rushed back and grabbed it. But nowadays everything's on there. It's frightening.
I've got podcasts. And I suppose if I bought a new iPhone, then you could get something back from the cloud.
The choice that's not there would be the choice between iPhone and passport
or keys.
Yes, so
it depends on.
And then passport and keys, that's an even bigger one. But you could potentially, if you've got your passport, you've got proof of ownership for the house, so you could get someone to sort out the keys. So I think in all of these, I'd probably pick. I certainly pick the passport.
No, I don't use. That's the only form of identity I have because I don't drive, so I don't have a driving license. I don't really use it for travel at the moment.
Passport and phone is that's a tricky one.
Would you rather understand what everyone is thinking or see everyone's future?
I think I think that I'd like to see other people's future. Hearing what other people are thinking, I think that would be pretty fucking distracting. And there's a reason why people think thoughts and speak words is because there's thankfully
some people don't.
I know some people speak their brains. Yeah, I know. But actually having that filter there is the kindliness filter, which means that you can still perhaps be truthful, but you can say it in such a way that you're not going to lose a friendship over
I often run past a comment, or if I'm going to make a funny, I run it past and then go, oh no, because his mother just died of so-and-so, or that won't be funny, or anything. I try and run it past my brain before I say it. But I think a lot of people don't.
No.
Would you rather have a job where you sit all day or a job where you stand all day?
Oh, I think sitting's so bad for you, isn't it? I mean, standing all day, I think my legs would crumple under me.
I did
probably sit all day, sadly.
Yeah, I did sit a lot when I worked in the library, although I tended to tell people it's very tiring. It's tiring being on my feet all day, but generally he was sitting at the inquiry desk. Yes, you had to go and maybe show people, and the longer I stayed there, the less I'd like that place. The more I was like, it's over there. Whereas when I was new, I'd be, let me go and show you. Okay, here you go. Would you rather have a phone with unlimited battery? No, we're going to have to do that one, another one, because it didn't finish the sentence. It says, with unlimited battery or strong. Maybe that's just strong reception. But anyway, let's go on to something else. Would you rather have every outfit you wear be slightly itchy or slightly too tight?
Slightly too tight. I think I can put up with that. Itchiness is pain.
I think I probably have gone through stages where I've worn clothes when I've been putting on weight, where I've worn clothes that have been slightly too tight. But itchy is horrible. Would you rather be seen as a person who always whines or as someone who is a bad person?
Oh, a baddie or a whiner.
Depends what whining. It's like people use the phrase Ramona and all that sort of thing about Remainers and or like they.
I think I'd rather be seen as a baddie. But baddies are more interesting.
I know what you mean. But I think I'm more likely to be a whiner. But not compared to half the people who whine. I'm whining about a different thing. I'm whining about people being horrible people. Would you rather never use toilet paper?
Sorry,
there's some people standing near the table. I don't particularly want to say that. Would you rather never use toilet paper or only use leaves from trees you've gathered as toilet paper?
Never use toilet paper or only use leaves.
I don't really see that that's
trees.
I don't really see that that's I mean, there's no necessity.
Never use toilet paper or only use leaves from trees. But
I don't see that there's a. Once I was recording with Tom. I mean Nick. Once I was recording with Nick, and he got cross because there was one about, would you rather have tea or coffee? And he was like, who is this person telling me I can only have tea? I said, it's just a parlour game. No one is going to make you choose.
If I had to choose, actually, I think I would choose tea, although I love coffee.
Yeah, it was weird because I often don't have tea when I'm at home. But then when my friend Mark was over this weekend, he wanted tea, and we just drank buckets of tea. We had one, because I've got some fancy coffee from the Algerian coffee shop on Old Compton Street. Have you ever been there? It's really good.
No.
Posh coffee.
I go to Italy and I get Illy.
Yeah.
And I was drinking huge amounts of Illy coffee.
I know that as well.
Which I love.
We had one pot of posh coffee, but we had tea. I drank tea after, and even after Mark had gone, I had a couple more cups of tea.
I think you need to have tea. Tea is a good de-stressor, and it's also just a good pick-me-up sort of drink, like a really heavily brewed tea.
Sometimes if you had too many coffees, you just feel like you want to go and brush your teeth, and it's not always it's not always possible to brush your teeth.
I think I would really miss tea if I couldn't have tea.
I think
I can make do without coffee. But obviously I love coffee.
I think I would think that I would miss coffee more, but tea is probably. I think it's probably
the winner.
Yeah, with that, but I might make the wrong decision and go for coffee. As for the toilet roll thing, it doesn't make sense.
I'm not sure, darling. Dock leaves are meant to be quite good. I
don't know why. Why is that? Why? What's happened to the toilet paper reserves? Is it another COVID situation where everyone's gone and bought the?
Oh right, yeah.
I'm going to ask one more. That's stupid. Would you rather be attacked by a great white shark or a grizzly bear?
Which one's going to finish me off first? I suppose I'd say that wouldn't the shark rip you to pieces quicker?
Then you'd drown as well. You'd be drowning as well as being eaten. I don't like the idea of drowning.
Both of them are pretty terrifying kinds of.
I know some bear language, so
I do like swimming.
I know you say grrr, and it's like bare face. I can do that.
I like swimming, so I think I would.
Do you like drowning there? whilst the shark's eating your.
I think the shark would probably have snapped me up, so at least I get to do get my swim in before I die. Your hand will bob up. And your Apple Watch will say how many lengths you've done. I cleared my rings and I've done well.
You were swimming really fast at one point, and then suddenly you stopped.
It's an amazing aerobic exercise.
You've done so well. Oh dear. Well, thank you very much. We'll have to do this again. Not being chased by a shark.
No.
Well, unless you want to.
In that old pub in North London, when your eyes caught mine, I smiled. And you bought me half-full lager. Well, you had me so beguiled. And you said your name was Benji, and you were a doctor too. And I thought that you were charming, but I never really knew what was true. You took what you want, and now I'm bereft. You took what you want, and now there's nothing left. You crushed all my trust, and now I'm a mess. You took what you want, nothing more, nothing less. In a few months you had moved in, and some friends saw through your lies, but I just could never see it. I was fooled by your disguise, and you told me you had treated many patients of a day, but you already were treating the sick loser as your prey, as your prey. You took what you want, and now I'm bereft. You took what you want, and now there's nothing left. You crushed all my trust, and now I'm a mess. You took what you want, nothing more, nothing less. Took my trust, my Da Vinci. It's all gone. You took what you want, and now I'm bereft. You took what you want, and now there's nothing left. You crushed all my trust, and now I'm a mess. You took what you want, nothing more, nothing less.
Uncle John, are you all sat down? Or I'm a bit scared. It'll be fine. You should have admitted to us what was going on, rather than trying to pass off your strange inhalation of a joke book as some form of... I mean, I just thought that those were the sort of jokes that you would tell because you're Yeti Uncle John. Well, it's not very nice, Paul. That's not very kind. But yes, but you did try. You did exactly that. You did try and pass it off as some form of humour. It would have been less embarrassing to have told us what had happened. Do you think so? I do. Yes. Cromitty, have you got the milkshake? Yes, it's here. What flavour? What flavour is it? It's barium flavour. Oh, is that nice? Have some whiskey. No, you don't drink, do you? Have some fizzy water. So, Mr. T, is he just to drink it?
Yes, he just has to swallow, and everything will be well, hopefully, assuming I've picked all the lumps out.
I have a strawberry here. You can eat a strawberry.
That's a big one.
Yeah,
That's a gigantic strawberry.
Go on, Yeti Uncle John, just drink it. Oh, did you take the lumps out? We've done our best.
I think so. Yes.
Oh, it tastes rotten. It tastes. It's quite revolting. That's not the Barrett. That's my cup of coffee. Get off here. What? No, this is your milkshake. Oh, sorry. This is quite tasty. I like this. Have you got any more? No, that's quite enough. Just one barium milkshake is quite enough. Okay, I think he's drunk it. He seemed to like it.
I've just discovered something I didn't know.
What?
Is that they use barium in fireworks as well.
So he might go off any minute.
If he goes off, you'll know it's barium because barium produces a green colour in fireworks. So if Yeti Uncle John explodes and turns green, that'll be the fault of the barium.
Where do sheep get their hair cut? The barber shop. Just be quiet. Right, now what happens? Right. Can you X-ray him?
It needs to go through his system.
All right.
So if you stick him in the X-ray booth that we have over here,
we've only got one made out of a cardboard box.
That'll do. As long as it says X-ray booth on the side, it'll work.
Do we have to play some music now or something, just so that time can pass?
All right. Okay. Time passes.
Listeners, time's going to pass. I'm scared. Don't be scared. Oh no, I'm scared what music might be chosen. I might not like it. Oh dear.
Neon lights, vibes are in the air. Come closer, feel the energy's there. The music's got this magic hold. Embrace the sound, let your story unfold. Dance it, feel it, rise up high. Reach for the stars in the sky. Dance it, feel it, touch
Okay, time's passed.
That's good.
Right, Yeti Uncle John's in the X-ray booth that's made of a cardboard box. What happens
Right, now we have to see what develops.
All right.
Okay. Now put your coins in. Put your coins
Can you
in.
see the book?
No, you have to put your coins in, and you get 4 photographs.
Coins?
Yeah. You have to put the coins in the slot.
Right. I think we've got a sound effect for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you get 4
Right.
photographs.
It should be running now.
And you can use them in passports as well. Okay. So if his stomach wants to go abroad on its own, then we can use that for his passport for his stomach. All right.
Feeling a bit gaseous.
Right,
Yeti Uncle John, just sit there. We're just trying to take a photo.
Right.
How's it gonna come out, or will the book just fall apart? When will he stop telling awful jokes?
Well, let's have a look at the photographs. Can we see the photographs? Have they developed?
Yes, I think so.
What can you see,
seeing everything
Crompton?
we're seeing. Is it like pictures from the gallery? We can't return them.
Here's a picture by Cromitty, aged 6.
I was quite a talented artist when I was 6, actually. Well, compared to all the other 6-year-olds. I'm sure you were. Oh, why do bears have sticky hair? Because they use... Oh, not bears. Why do bees have sticky hair? Because they use honeycombs.
Right. Cromitty, have you got the photo? The photo's come out now, I think.
Yes.
Can you see it? Is it lodged? Is the book lodged, or will it pass?
Well, I don't know. What do you think, Cromitty?
Cromitty knows about such things.
I think it will pass. I think it was a book from the telephone box. I think it was one of Mrs. Chandler's books, or one of the ones she'd been given. I don't think it's very new. I think it might start to fall apart.
Yeah, if it's a second-hand book, it probably won't stand up to Yeti Uncle John's digestive juices, will it?
How do you tell if a vampire is sick? By how much he is coughing. That doesn't make sense. By how much he is coughing. I mean, isn't a joke supposed to have 2 sides to it? That sentence doesn't make sense, like, grammatically. Oh, I don't know, Paul. It's just coming out of me, left, right and centre. Oh, dear. Look, why don't you go and have a lie down? It seems to be that, it's all going to pass in good time. It's not lodged, and we can get back to talking about other stuff and things. Oh, Paul, I'm sorry I've spoilt your show. Well, you need to cover your mouth when you sleep if you're going to start inhaling things. Oh no, I'm sorry. Oh, why are ghosts good cheerleaders? Because they have a lot of spirit. Oh, what happens to a fog's car when it breaks down? It gets towed away. How long before the jokes stop coming out? Does anybody know? We could anaesthetise him, maybe knock him out for 24 hours. Oh, don't think I'd like that. Well, we don't like all the jokes that are coming out of here, but we have to put up with them. Right. Go and take him for a lie down and we'll see how he is at the end of the show. Come along, Yeti Uncle John. Why does Humpty Dumpty love autumn? Because Humpty Dumpty has a great fall. Have a good sleep, Yeti Uncle John. Oh, dear. Well, thanks for that advice, Mr. T. The barium milkshake seems to... At least we didn't have to drag him all the way into to the hospital and, sit in A&E for 5 hours or whatever. At least everything looks like it's going to, recover on its own, as it were.
Yeah, the thought of Yeti Uncle John in Casualty or Holby City, does worry me.
Or what's that one from the 60s? General Hospital, Young Doctor.
Emergency Ward 10.
Yeah. When General Hospital was younger, was it called Colonel Hospital?
I think so, and Sergeant Hospital.
Oh God, I must have swallowed his book as well.
It's catching.
Oh dear. I've got some would you rather questions to finish with, and we will briefly check back on Yeti Uncle John at the end. But let me see what I can find.
So is that done and dusted? Are we back to the questions?
Well, I hope so. But Nick, you should be more sympathetic. Poor old Yeti Uncle John's inhaled a book. You know, it could have been worse. It could have been. It could have made a nasty mess on your living room carpet.
Could have choked on it.
But would you? I don't know if we've done this one before. Would you rather be able to time travel or be able to stop time? I mean, the thing is, on this show I've done both, so it's hard for me to comment on this one. I have time travelled, I think, and I've definitely stopped being involved when somebody stopped time quite recently. But so I think I should ask my guests what their opinion would be.
Over to our scientist.
I'd like to be able to time travel because you could answer so many historical questions. But I am worried about, the whole could you affect time yourself? So I don't know. Stopping time seems rather dull because if you stop time, everybody just stands there like a freeze frame. And I suppose you could go through their pockets or something like that.
Well, that's exactly what we did, because there was a note that had been passed, and we were desperate to know what it was, so we got Grizzly to stop time, and we found out what the note was, and it involved Yeti Uncle John's back hair, so we wished we hadn't overlooked, but there we go. This is the perils of stopping time. Sometimes you get to hear about things you don't want to hear about.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd be worried about interfering. That's the trouble with
the time travel.
If you do time travel, do you affect yourself? That's my concern.
I mean, Lisa and I have time travelled back to meet very famous kings and royalty, haven't we, Lisa?
We have, yes.
Nothing seems to have come of that, from what I can tell.
No. Although James I is unreasonably friendly every time.
Unreasonably?
Yes. And really camp.
I don't know how much meeting me changed his life. He seemed very excited when he met me, but...
he did, yes.
But I guess, luckily, it didn't affect anything long term. Maybe he called one of his pet dogs, Shy Yeti or something, but other than that, it's been forgotten. History has forgotten that.
I think I'd be able to choose and not do either. Because stopping time, I cannot see the slightest benefit of stopping time, apart from maybe if it's last Wednesday with the election, but hey. And time travel, I think I'd go with Chobe. There's too much temptation. You might find something that you might not enjoy what you find, as it were. Interference definitely a thingy, but yeah.
I've just thought of something, Nick, actually.
Yeah.
Stopping time would give you more time to do your homework when you were at school.
But I would actually go back in time. Then I would take time travel and go back and abolish homework. It was an abomination. There's no way I'd want more time for my homework.
I mean, the teachers probably hate homework as well because it's more work for them too. Yeah. I don't think anyone benefits from homework. No, just do it. Well, what I suggest is that because when I go outside these days, I'm sure schools finish even earlier than they used to.
They do.
And also that which is bad for parents because if they're working they don't get home until 5. Why not run school until 5:30 or something and not do homework or do homework in the school?
Well, yes. I mean, it's a horrible thing. Definitely a Room 101 thing, homework.
Yes. We'll do one or two more of these, and then we'll have to say goodbye. Although we will just come back again as we usually do. I may have asked this one before. Would you rather spend the rest of your life without music or without movies? I guess. What about the music that's in movies?
Well, yeah, without movies, I would have to say, because there's music I particularly love that I've never seen in a movie. So it would be a cruel person that actually does that, but yeah, I mean, that insists that happens. But
well, yes.
Come to think of it, who are these people that are actually
I don't know.
making these life and death decisions?
It's the internet.
Yeah, but yeah, without movies, I would have to reluctantly say.
So. What about you, Lisa and Troby?
Well, if there were no movies in the world, it would not affect our podcast in the slightest, would it, Lisa? Because
No.
we don't do movies on our podcast.
No. Especially after what you asked me
as
yesterday.
long as they're not being sneaky and mean all forms of Okay, let's broaden it and say movies, TV. What if it was movies and TV?
Well then I would have to sacrifice music on the altar of the internet.
I thought you'd say that. What about you, Lisa?
If it was movies and TV, then I would have to say music. But if it's just movies, then I could probably live with.
I could still sing to you, Lisa. I could still sing songs to you.
Gosh, I could.
You've been doing nothing but singing.
I could sacrifice music. No, I mean, no. I agree. I'm agreeing with Nick because I could rely on books and my own imagination.
Yes.
For the movie side of it, but I don't think well, then again, what with AI music, I am beginning to listen to more music that I've semi-created by AI than I am listening to music that's just because I enjoy the process of at least being somehow involved in it. But yeah.
Lisa, can I do my Aubrey Woods impression?
You better ask Paul.
Paul, can I do my Aubrey Woods impression?
Yes.
So this is from Pickwick, what we feature in our new episode. Aubrey Woods, aged 41, claiming that he's 26. So Nick might be amused by
yeah,
this.
I like him.
I'm a bit of a character, quite a character, name of Alfred Jingle, 26 and single, always willing to mingle. All the ladies love me and they're all there. I'm a bit of a character, bit of a character too. Ooh. That was my Aubrey
Thank you,
Woods.
Aubrey.
There you are.
And it really was that camp.
Yes.
Would you rather always have to travel by hippo or by kangaroo?
What a stupid question.
I don't think you could travel by kangaroo. I think you've got more chance of travelling by hippo because it's bigger. Kangaroo. I'm not going to get. I'm too big to fit in the pouch.
Stupid question. I'll walk.
What about you two?
I'd go on a hippo.
Yeah, hippo would be slow, but
because. Do you know the name of the Nosy Bonk music? That's Hubert the Hippo, isn't it?
Oh. You see, you can't do without music.
You can't do without music. Perhaps you're right, yes. I'd travel by hippo if it played the Nosy Bonk music as I went along. And then people would run away in fear of Nosy Bonk.
Well,
yes.
People over 40 would run away.
Yeah.
Well, 50, maybe.
So they'd clear the area, wouldn't they?
They would. All the youngsters would just stand and not know what it was.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think that's quite enough stupidity for one episode. But we've still got a little bit more to come. So yes, thank you for your use. Thank you for being here and for taking part. And yes, no, this was not a Chatterbox episode. I repeat, this was not a Chatterbox episode. But there will be one sometime. Maybe, yeah, I'm not sure when it will appear. But, right, yes, thank you. Join us again soon, listeners. And thank you to Lisa, Troby and Nick for helping us, and for Yeti Uncle John for not helping us, and for Cromitty for trying his best to keep Yeti Uncle John away from us. But, right, thanks again, and goodbye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, barium. Bye-bye-bye.
Cromitty, how is Uncle John doing? Well, I think he's okay. Is there any sign that the jokes have subsided? Well, it's difficult to tell because they weren't very funny, so I couldn't always detect whether they were actually jokes. I did find a page of the joke book on the floor. Oh yes, I thought we should look at the jokes and analyze them. Okay, what, to see why they're not funny or why they are funny? Maybe. Well, show us. Here you are. Go on. How do trees access the internet? They log in. Okay. What? I mean, it's wordplay because you've got trees, you've got the internet, you've got logs. What makes it not that funny, though, Lisa and Troby? What would you say? Is it just too obvious?
Well, isn't it all in the delivery?
Yeah,
that's what they say. But anything can be funny if you put the right spin on it, isn't it? So I think if Yeti Uncle John does want to be funny,
yeah, they're trying to be, but I think I don't know. I just don't know what kind of delivery could actually push them all the way.
Maybe you should study Ken Dodd or something.
So here we have, what do you get when you cross a fish and an elephant? What do you think the answer would be?
What do you get if you cross a fish and an elephant? Something about trunks?
Yeah.
Is that where we're going?
We're going that way, yeah.
Okay. Help, Lisa.
I've got no idea.
Lisa's got no idea. Something about trunks, but
if the trunk is connected to the elephant, what would the fish? What the fish might do?
Dear, I'm looking blank here.
The answer is swimming trunks.
Right.
I'm not sure that this is scientifically. I don't think this is.
I think this is a book of Christmas cracker jokes.
They are very Christmas cracker jokes. Yeah, they are because they're very short. There's not much to them. I mean,
I think somebody's bought a load of Christmas crackers, taken all the jokes out, and stuck them in a book, literally with Pritt stick or something, and then tried to sell it. Which wouldn't surprise. That's actually quite a good idea. I've just thought of that. That's actually not a bad idea.
There's another fish one here. Why wouldn't the shrimp share his treasure? Because he was a little shellfish.
He was shellfish. I got that one.
I kind of like that one, but it's not like hilariously funny, but it's kind of cute funny, and it's wordplay. I mean, I quite like that one too. Poor little shellfish. He's kind of nice.
Archimedes, you've heard of Archimedes? When he jumped out of his bath and ran down the road, he didn't shout "Eureka!" He shouted, "I'm a streaker!"
Is that from 3-2-1?
No, that's from Planet of the Spiders.
Oh, yes, of course it is. But I think they
3-2-1, Planet of the Spiders.
I think they've got the same joke book, but oh dear. Oh well, I can hear the theme music. So, Cromitty, get Yeti Uncle John here before the end of the show. All right, I'll go and fetch him, see if he's okay. Please, we'd be reassured.
I gotta go now. Bye. Gotta go. Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Wow. Really? No kidding.
Thank you, darling. And you too. Bye-bye.
Oh, that sounded good.
Very strange.
That was beautifully done.
This show is part of the Pride 48 network. Find more shows over at pride48.com.
Oh dear, what's going on now? Oh, it's the Shy Life Podcast.
Let's go.
I have a voice. I have a voice.
You have a voice.
You have a voice. We have a voice.
We have a voice.
Unique voices in podcasting.
UnivazPods.net.
That is so cringe, oh my god.
You're a man of culture as well.
How are you doing, Yeti Uncle John? Oh, feeling a lot better. Thank you for your help, Mr. T.
It's all right.
Nick's just making you a lovely big cup of something or other. Hot chocolate, I think. Oh, it's very nice of him. And have the jokes subsided? The jokes, I think they have. Shall I try? Not who's there. There's the postman. Well, yeah, I think the jokes have subsided. It's not that easy to tell. It's not that easy to tell, no. Oh dear. Oh look, did you hear about the Italian chef who died? He passed away. He passed away. I quite like that one. Or I don't get it. Italian chef. He passed her. Yeah. He passed away. Now you're going to have to explain it to me. Mr. T, what's he talking about?
I think he's talking about weighing pasta or something. You need scales.
No, you've not got it right. You're not getting the joke. Oh, for goodness sake. I got the joke, Paul. Oh, I know. This is the trouble with jokes anyway. They're very much, one person's joke is not necessarily another person's joke. But
sorry, I was just reading about barium sulfate again.
Oh.
Yeti Uncle John?
Yes?
I ought to tell you that what you've just swallowed is also used in drilling oil wells.
Oh, thank you.
The slurry of barium sulfate is pumped into the bore, and the pressure created forces rock chips out of the hole.
Oh
so
dear.
I hope you don't have any after effects.
I'm going to have problems tonight, aren't I? Oh dear. I'll look after you.
I'm not implying that you were a bore, Yeti Uncle John, but...
Oh, well, I couldn't possibly comment. Cromitty, would you be able to comb your back hair? Oh, if you would. Yes, come on, let's go. We got to go now. Dear.
I think Yeti Uncle John definitely needs to go.
Yeah. Oh dear. Things just get worse. No more jokes. What's the difference between a rabbit and a plum? They're both purple except for the rabbit. They're both... I don't get that one. What? Both purple. What's the difference between a rabbit and a plum? They're both purple except for the rabbit. I don't... Do you... I don't get that one.
No, that's just silly.
I don't get it. Oh dear.
This is just the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
Well, gotta tell you, I didn't expect that.
What the hell just happened on this show? I mean, seriously, reverse it, because I lost... What's going on? What happened?
Man, was that worth it or not? Oh my goodness, that was a darling little shoe. Whoa, I love that one. Great show, Paul. You know, that was a good shoe.
755.
755. Oi, oi, that's your lot. Bye.
Anyway, right, let's run that theme music. I'm going to say that again because I think I might have burped. We had a glass of Coke a minute ago. Let's run that theme music.
Burp. Oh dear, I do apologise.
Those will get turned into something. Those will get turned
yes,
into
I was going to slow them down and turn them into a creature's roar or something.
Yeah, well, yeah. everyone's a critic.
You can always call me.
Okay, stopping recording now.